In this video, I'm going to show you how to build a staff directory for your website using a plugin called Profile Builder. You can use this to build staff directories, member directories, battle the bands directories, any kind of directory you can think of. I'm going to show you how to add custom fields to the registration forms. And I'm going to show you the powerful tools that Profile Builder provides for you to filter and sort and search through your staff directories. So even if you have thousands of entries in your directory, Profile Builder makes it really easy for you or your visitors to filter to the right content that they're looking for. Hi, I'm Bjorn from WPLearningLab. If you get value from this video, make sure you like and subscribe to let me know. Now let's get started. To create the epic user listing pages that we're going to create in this video, we're going to use a plugin called Profile Builder by Cosmos Labs. I have the pro version in my Cosmos Labs account right here. You can get the main plugin from the WordPress repository. You can do a lot of what we do in this tutorial for free, but it's the final polishing and the creating of the sortable and filterable user listing page that requires the pro version. We'll get into pricing at the end of this video, but it's super affordable, especially if this is something your clients want. So the first step is download the pro version to your hard drive. Just click on download, save it to your hard drive. Pretty simple. Go into your WordPress dashboard, go to plugins and add plugin. We're going to search for Profile Builder. To get the free version installed, we need both the free and the pro version installed. Here's the free one right here. Click on install now when you're ready. Sometimes stuff can go wrong when you install plugins on a live site. If you want to back up your site first just in case, there's a tutorial in the description to help you with that. Click on activate when you're ready to activate it. And we're going to go through this setup wizard to install the basic pages we need for Profile Builder. Because what this allows is you can have profile listing pages for users or staff members or Battle of the Bands or whatever, where you as the admin could make all the profiles, or you could have everybody sign up to create their own profile, which is way less work for you. And in some cases, like if people are signing up to attend an event or be presenters at an event or something like that, you're going to want them to fill out their own info anyway. So we're going to turn on the registration page, the login page, the edit profile page, and the password reset page. WordPress already has a login page, as you know, and a password reset, but this is going to be custom for Profile Builder and the profiles people are going to be building on your website. Click on continue. Here we pick our design and UI. For the free version, we only have default available, and it's not pretty. Luckily, you can use CSS to make it pretty if you know how to do that. If not, the pro version gives us access to these other options, which look way nicer, which you'll see later on in this video. I'm going to turn on or keep turned on automatically log users in after registration. I'm going to keep activated hide the admin bar for the subscriber role. We might add more roles throughout this video to hide the admin bar for. You can set an email confirmation after registration if you want. Just turn that on. And the pro version allows admin approval for new users. That's why it's grayed out. Click on continue when you set the ones you want. Later on, we're going to install the user listing add-on, which is an add-on to the pro version. And that gives us the filterable, searchable user listings. But first, you're going to go through this wizard. Click on continue. You can enter your email address here for updates from Cosmos Labs. We have a checklist of what we've done so far, what we still have to do. Click on continue to your Profile Builder dashboard. And here we have our Profile Builder dashboard. You won't be doing a whole lot in this area, but you do get a nice summary of users who are recently registered. That's pretty cool. I want to now install the pro version. So I'm going to go to plugins and add plugin, then click on upload plugin. You can click on choose file to find it on your hard drive. I'm just going to drag and drop it from right here. Click on install now when you're ready, then click activate. And I'm going to scroll down to Profile Builder on the left and go to add-ons. And I'm going to activate user listing. And this is all we need for the core of this tutorial. Later on, I'll talk about multiple registration forms and multiple edit profile forms, but for now, we just need the free version, the pro version, and the user listing add-on. So before we check out the pages that have been created so far, let's just change the display. I prefer Sublime, but you can click on preview under any one of these and click this arrow to see all the different designs for the different pages. I like Sublime the best. Just because it's blue. I like the color blue. Click on Save Changes when you've picked one of those. Now let's go to Pages and sort by date so we see the most recent pages that have been created. We have the password reset page, the edit profile page, the login page, and the register page. Those are all created by Profile Builder when we went through that startup wizard. The password reset page looks like this. This is how it looks when we're logged in. If we view this incognito, we'll see how it looks when you're not logged in. Nice and clean. Edit profile page looks like this. I'm the admin, so I can choose any user profile. It'll load in here, and I can edit whatever has to be edited. When a user who created their profile logs in, they'll only see their own profile. The login page looks like this when you're logged in, and when you're not logged in, it will look like this. Register page looks like this. You can have this behind a login as well if you don't want just anybody registering, because spam bots will fill this out. But luckily, Profile Builder added a honeypot field, which will stop or at least slow down spam registrations. I'll show you how to use that. If you don't want to put the registration form behind some kind of a sign-in, and you want it public all the time, you're going to want to use the honeypot. And without doing anything else, we can create users. We can fill this in, and we're going to have a new user on the website. It's as simple as that. You're ready to go. But we're going to customize it a little bit before we start filling it out. Let's go back into the dashboard, and let's head over to Profile Builder. Go to Form Fields. This is where you customize the registration form. These are all the fields that we saw on that page just a moment ago. This is just displayed in a way it's a little easier to read. You can add more fields by clicking on this drop down here. And there's lots of fields you can add. This is the honeypot. I'm going to add that. And this is a field that is hidden from the users. So regular users aren't going to fill it in, but spam bots will, because they go into the HTML code and they see there's a field and they think, oh, we got to fill this in. So they fill in the field, and then when that field has data in it, registration will be blocked. And that's how honeypots work. It's not going to block every spam registration, but it should catch a lot of them. We can also add lots of stuff, as you can see. Text areas, radio select buttons, phones, select countries, date pickers, maps, GDPR checkboxes and buttons. Lots of fields you can add. And beside every field, there's an edit button. This is the profile picture field. This is the field type that we selected from the dropdown when this field was made. The meta name, you can give it a description. You can add allowed extensions. Because it's a picture, I only allowed .png and .jpeg. You can use simple upload or use the WordPress upload. I prefer the WordPress. You can set sizes for the images, whether it's required. And every one of the fields that you go through is going to have a similar set of options and requirements for you to fill out. You can also enable conditional logic for pretty much all the fields. So you can show this field or hide it based on certain criteria being met. I'm going to not worry about conditional logic right now. And if you wanted to create multiple registration forms, you go to the add-ons if you have the Pro version, and you can activate multiple registration forms and create multiple forms for different types of users signing up on your website. We're not going to worry about this for now. We might get back to that later. So our form fields here, for me, are good enough. I'm happy with them. So now we're going to go ahead and fill in the registration form just to see what that process is like and how a user is created. And then we'll create a listing page that's going to show us that user. Let's refresh the page to make sure we have the latest version of the form. Going to upload a picture. This is a picture of Bill, if it ever uploads. There he is. Username, Bill. First name, Bill. Last name, eBob. Nickname, Billy Bob. For the bio, I had ChatGPT write this magical piece of text. Set a password. You can choose to have these emails sent to yourself or whoever's registering via email. Click on Add User, and Billy Bob is in. The account's been created. Now what do I do? Good question. We need to set up a listings page. And since we have the Pro version installed already, we have a user listing option right here. This is my test one that I did earlier. Let's click on Add a new user listing. I'm going to call this Staff. Roles to display. Here's where you might have wanted to create a custom user role. I'm going to choose Contributor. So everybody who signs up with this registration form, or the one we just filled out, is going to be signed up as a contributor. And they're automatically going to be added to this user listings page. Number of users per page is set to 5. You can change that, of course. Default sorting criteria is username. I'm going to choose first name, alphabetical by first name. Default sorting order, ascending or descending. I'm going to choose ascending. Avatar size, I like them bigger. So I'm going to choose or type in 100 and 100 for both. So they're 100 pixels in width or height, one of the two, and they'll be adjusted so they're not pancaked or anything. The aspect ratio will be the same. You can make the profile listing page visible only to logged in users. To do that, toggle this, choose the user role that you want to be able to see it, and Bob's your uncle. And since you can have multiple user listing forms, you can have multiple user listing pages available to different people, different user roles available to the public, as in this is not turned on. Faceted menus allows you to search people based on criteria that they filled out for their forms. We'll come back to that later. That's a little more advanced. The search fields we can search in are these ones here. I'm going to uncheck honeypot. No reason to be able to search that. And profile picture, don't need to be able to search that either. You can uncheck email as well for privacy, maybe even last name. You can check those off as you want them. For the themes, we have these options here. The default one works, but it's not the prettiest. Tables looks pretty cool. This is how your profiles would be displayed. So this would be the listing page itself, and this is the individual profile page when someone clicks on one of the items. This is another option. I like this one. These cards, and then the full profile looks like that. There's another one. And another one. Gotta say my favorite, I think, is this one. I'm gonna choose this. This field down here allows us to edit the HTML for the user listings page. This is very useful. For example, here we have lorem ipsum text. Might want to change that. Let's look at where this is applied on the page first, then we can think about what kind of text we want in there, or if we want that at all. We can add user fields with dynamically populated data based on these shortcodes. You can add sort tags. You can have extra functionality. These are all thoroughly documented in the Profile Builder documentation. We'll see some of this stuff in this video, but we can't possibly go through all of it. But you'll see the mustache brackets, curly brackets here, that put in the user field data, like first name right here, last name right here. But first we're going to want to see what the page looks like. Then we can come back in here and edit it to change it to what we want. This is the HTML for a single user profile page. A lot of the same options for tags and extra functions. We can add custom field queries. This is pretty advanced. We might come back to that later. You can also allow the download of all user profiles to a CSV file. I'm not going to allow that. The star would allow all users to do it. Maybe I'll just add admins, so only admins can do this. Click on publish. And now we have customized the user listing, but we haven't created the page for it yet. So let's go to pages and add page. Let's call this staff. Click on the plus to add a block. Let's add listing. User listing. You must select the user listing on the right hand side. We see staff and pet directory here. Pet directory was my test that I made before this video. Staff is the one we just made. And all the user listings that you create are going to be listed right here in this dropdown. It's already populated. Even put me in there. And Bounce to the Dog. And Jimbo. And this test user. We don't want all those guys. Right? So clearly we have some adjusting to do. This is showing everybody, including me, the admin, Jimbo, the subscriber, test user, the editor. But we want to adjust our staff. So let's publish this. And let's make a few tweaks. If we go back to our listing page for roles to display, I currently have star select. That's going to put everybody, every single user in the website is going to be added. So let's change this to contributor and update. And coincidentally, if you don't want to use the Gutenberg editor and the blocks, you can just use this custom shortcode in the classic editor or even inside Elementor, something like that. Any kind of page builder you want that accepts shortcodes, you can use this. Now we also have to set our registration form to create contributor user roles. So let's go to the registration form. Let's go to edit page. And by default, we have the shortcode enabled for the classic editor, but we don't get a lot of options to edit it on the right-hand side. So I'm going to delete that and add the register block. And of course, these blocks that I'm adding are created by Profile Builder to help you edit and manage the stuff on your website. These aren't just regular blocks you have in WordPress. So with this block selected, we can now choose which form over here. If we had multiple forms, you could choose different forms to display. The default user role, I'm going to choose contributor. I'm going to choose automatic login so that when they fill in the form, they're automatically logged in, and it's going to redirect them to the staff listing page. And after logout, they could go to the home page. Where is the home page? Let's go to the blog. That's good enough. Save. And now the user listing page, let's look at it on the front end, is going to be a little more refined. Should have 2 on there. Oh, just 1. Because Billy Bob was added as a subscriber because we hadn't defined the contributor user role in the form yet. So let's fill it out again for Billy Bob. And I'm going to take Bounce of the Dog off as well. To clean up your user profiles, go into your users list. Here's Bounce of the Dog. I'm just going to edit this guy to be a subscriber, so he's not on that list. Something that could be really smart to do is have a user role dedicated to what you're working on with the profile builder. We have these roles by default with WordPress. If you have WooCommerce installed, there's some additional ones. But if we had, let me just save this to subscriber. If we had the ability to make new user roles, it'd be so much more efficient. And we do. Profile Builder gives us that. If we go to Profile Builder and then the settings for Profile Builder, on the General Settings tab, scroll down to Roles Editor, turn that on. It shows you where to find it. Under Users, there'll be a Roles Editor menu item. Currently there isn't one. As soon as I press Save, now under Users, we have a Roles Editor where we can create new user roles by clicking on Add New Role. We could call this Staff, for example. We can select capabilities that this user role will have. Admin, for example, has all capabilities. Subscriber has the least capabilities from what's default on the WordPress site. If you want clarity on what these capabilities are, there's this page in the WordPress.org resources, and it shows you a list of all the capabilities that each type of user has by default. And you can find these in the exact same format in this list right here. And you can add them to the user role as needed. You can click on any one of these to see more details about what that allows, and you can create the perfect user role for your needs. I'm not going to get into too much detail for this in this video, but that's how you do it. You can do it with Profile Builder. You don't need another plugin to create new user roles. If I head back into users, instead of redoing Billy Bob's, let's just edit his and make him a contributor. And then update. And now we've got Billy Bob here. Click on Billy Bob, hover over him, we see posts and sign up date. That might not be what we want to show. We'll have to edit that. Click on View Profile. Here's his profile. Not bad. Before we add more people, let's customize how this displays. So this is the user listings page. That is over here, the all user listing template. So whatever we edit here is going to edit this user listings page. We see the lorem ipsum text right up here and the word users. I'm going to change this to staff. Here's our amazing staff. When you're editing HTML, you want to make sure you don't delete any of these pointy brackets or anything. Usually the black font color is stuff you can edit. So staff is in black, this text is in black, the shortcode is in black, that's something you can edit. This word filters is in black, which means it's text you can edit. I'm not sure where that appears on the page here. We don't have any faceted menus created yet, so that's probably why that is not on the page. Let's see, we have our avatar here, the image, we have the first and last name and the role, Billy Bob the contributor, but we have posts and sign up date. I don't want to show those. So here we have posts and we have sign up date. I'm going to delete this p tag, or maybe before I do that, I'm going to check if there's something else I could put in there. Not really. If you have some kind of fields you want to put in there, maybe what country they're from or what their favorite dinner is, you could add that in here and just change this to fave dinner and then add the appropriate shortcode here. So you can do all kinds of neat stuff. I'm just going to delete that one and I'm going to delete this one. I'm selecting from the opening p tag or paragraph tag to the closing. Closing is denoted by the slash and then followed by the p. So we open it with a p in greater and less than brackets, and we close it with a slash p in those brackets. Let's get rid of all this white space. Update that, and now refresh this page. There's some fine tuning that has to be done, but now when we hover over Billy Bob, it doesn't show the post or registration date. So that's pretty cool. View profile, if you click on that, it goes through a single profile, and all this stuff down here can be edited the exact same way. On the user listings page, we go down, go to the single user listing template, and you can change all those things over here. Now, hopefully, if you're at this point in the video, what we've done so far kind of makes sense. We've created all the pages people need to create profiles. We've created the profile form, the registration form, and customized that a little bit. We've created the user listings page. And now what we want to do is add a few more fields, custom fields, like where they're from, their favorite dinner, favorite sport, things like that they can fill in when they register. Then we can use those to create a faceted menu and make the search capability over here even more amazing. Because right now the search capability can only really search through these stock fields, and that might be good enough, but it's also not a lot of fun. And you might want to add custom fields, so I want to show you how to do that. So let's go back into the dashboard and go to form fields. I want to add a new field, a country select field. The field title is going to be where you're located. They can select a country, and let's see, I'm going to name the meta name for this country _1. I don't think it needs a description, pretty self-explanatory. Default option is select a country. We're going to make it required. Override existing means that if they edit their profile later, it's going to override that information in the database. That's probably smart because they might change locations. And you can turn on conditional logic, which I won't in this case. Let's add that field. Let's add a text field, text area. What's your favorite dinner is going to be the title for the field. It's going to be a text area. The description, again, not required. They can have up to 5 rows in the text area. I'm just going to make it 1. Text area is this box right here. So if you add more rows, it's going to make it bigger. But if you have just 1 row, it should be about this size. How much space do they really need to add their favorite dinner? Required, yes. Override existing, yes, because their favorite dinner might change. Now we have those 2 fields added at the very bottom. I want to move these up. So I hover over the number, click and hold, and I'm going to put this right below biographical info, move them both up there, and then click on, well, it's auto-saved. Fantastic. Let's go back to our registration page, and we should see those form fields right here. There's our country, it's our favorite dinner. We've got a whole text box for some reason. So just 1 line, but that's okay. We work with what we have. So let's add a new user and add that information for them. All right, that's all filled out. Add user. There's an error in the form. What did I do wrong? The password didn't match. Oh, I got my caps lock on. Had it on for one of them, not for the other, probably. Let's try that again. Add user. Boom. Okay, that's created. Let's go back to our staff page and refresh. And now we should have 2 here. There's Billy Bob and Evelyn, or Evelyn. If I click on Evelyn, we'll see her profile. We do not see that she likes seafood and where she lives. So let's make sure we add those. Go back to the user listings tab in the dashboard. Go to staff for the staff user listings page. And if we scroll all the way down, we see the user listings templates. Let's just add a paragraph tag, opening and closing, located in. Under user field tags, it should have added some tags for our new fields. Here, where are you located? There we go. Paste that right there. So that's going to say located in right below their profile picture when you hover, and that little info card pops up. It's going to show located in. Let's add their favorite food in there too. My fave food is, copy this. Boom. Done. Let's add this to their single listings page as well. We have their bio up here, maybe right below their bio. I'm located in, and my fave, let's make it all one. Located in, and my fave food is. So you can have it like a sentence populated by these custom smart tags. Okay, let's go check that out. Let's go back to the main staff page and refresh. We see where located in is appearing right there. Doesn't look good. Let's fix that. It's just the position or the location we put the HTML in. So we put it right here under the H5. Let's remove it from there. Let's put it into the next div. which is the extra info div. You don't need to add all the spacing I'm doing and get rid of all the white space, but visually it makes more sense. It's like a hierarchy when you're working through it. But that should put it where we want it. Let's refresh. There we go, that's cleaner. Located in, we haven't done this for Billy Bob yet. Let's try Evelyn. Located in Antarctica, my fave food is seafood. When on the second line, because there's not enough space. So make sure you're aware of how much text you're placing. Click on View Profile. Look at that. Now that I see seafood on the second line here, I'm starting to think it's not because there's not enough space. It's something to do with the text area option that we added. And the text is way too big. It's the same as the contributor up here. It's not the same as the paragraph, which is what I wanted it to be. So let's edit the user listing templates again. Let's go down to the single template. Here's the paragraph for the extra info. I'm going to cut that. And I'm going to move it inside of the biographical info div right there. Click on Update. And now it should be the same size as this paragraph text here. And there it is. It's on the second line. I don't like that. See if we can fix it. Let's go to Form Fields. And where are we? Favorite dinner is a text area. Can we make it something else? Just an input field? Is that the same as the name? First name, last name. It probably won't change it right here. Oh, it did. Okay. So we changed the field type to input, and now we have it spaced properly. One last thing. There's a lot of stuff to edit and tweak as you're building these things, as you can tell. I noticed there's no period at the end of that sentence that I wrote, which doesn't look good. So I'm going to add a period after favorite dinner. Update. Refresh. Now we should have a period after seafood. All right, let's go back to the staff page. Refresh out here. And now seafood is on the same line as my fave food is. But you still have to consider how much text you put in here, because it could go to a second line depending how many words there are. So for Billy Bob, let's update his user listing, because you might be doing this on the fly. Your client might ask you to add things to the registration forms, and you got to go back and add it to existing users. So you find the user inside the user list, go to edit, and if you scroll down, you will see right here, profile builder area, which country you located in, Argentina, favorite food is spaghetti. Update user. Now Billy Bob is going to have that info. Look at that. Go to his profile, it'll be there as well. Located in Argentina, my favorite food is spaghetti. Pretty sweet. Now I'm going to go ahead, pause this video, add a bunch more staff members so that we can start playing with the search and the faceted menus. And that's where the real power is in the user listings page. It could be a used car website, used scooter website, dating website, any website where there's a lot of different pieces of metadata for your listings, like price, location, interests, how fast it goes, what have you. You can make those things searchable with what we're going to do next in this video. So I'll be right back once I have a whole bunch more people in this staff listing. So I've added 11 more staff. We have 13 in total. This is the first 6 on the first page. Second page, we also have 6. Third page, we have 1. And they all have their profiles. I'm not going to customize this area, but it's the same concept for customizing everywhere else. Now what I want to show you is how to improve the search capability. So currently, if I search for Billy Bob here, he likes spaghetti. If I search for spaghetti, nothing shows up. If I search for Argentina, where he's from, nothing shows up. And that's because we added these custom fields and didn't add them to the searchable fields inside of the staff listings page. So let's go back out here. Let's go to the user listings tab, go to the staff user listings. Here we can see we have 6 for users per page, which we saw just a moment ago on the front end. We scroll down a little bit, search fields. These are the 2 we created, but we did not add them to searchable fields. So if I check those 2 and then update, and then come out here and refresh, if I search for spaghetti now, Billy Bob and Petey Pete both show up because they both like spaghetti. Excellent. If I search for, let's see, Antarctica, Evelyn and Petey Pete both show up because that's where they're located. So now those fields are searchable. But how can we add filters to make searching even easier, or to give maybe more prompting for the searches is what filters are good for. That's where these faceted menus come in. So I'm going to create one here. Label is going to be country. I want to have checkboxes. The facet meta is where the data is going to come from. In this case, it's the question, where you're located. The behavior is going to either narrow the results or expand the results. And the visible choices, I'm going to leave blank, so it's going to show all the choices. And I also want to add another one. I'm going to call this one food. I'm going to make this one, instead of checkboxes, I'll make it a select. And we're going to choose from favorite dinner, add entry. So we see both our facets down here. We can edit them, delete them as we see fit. Let's update that and refresh the page out here. Let's get rid of this Antarctica search. So now we see all the countries listed here as checkboxes. If I check the box, we see all the people located in that country. How about Antarctica and Finland? Only does one at a time because we have it set to narrow. If we set this to expand, let's edit and choose expand results. Now if I select the boxes, I can select more than one and it adds them to our search list. So we can choose a food, seafood. Now we're filtering by living in either Chad, Antarctica, and Finland, and seafood. There's only one person that meets those criteria. You could also search for stuff based on their other options. The easiest one is their name. So let's just search for Grace. So within these requirements, anyone named Grace, let's search for, and then Grace shows up. You can remove the filters, of course, really easily. I find the country checkboxes here not as much fun as having a drop down. So I'm going to change that to be a drop down. This doesn't look as clean as checkboxes. So I'll have it select. That looks better. Super slick to have those filters. Other facet menus include range, which could be pretty neat. That could be something like age or something number based, average income, average price, or price in general, not just average. If you have like a used car website, you could have a range on prices. You have multiple select, so checkboxes allows you to pick checkboxes. Multi-select allows you to have a drop-down, but you can select multiple in the drop-down. And search, I'm not entirely sure what search could be used for or how that would work. So we already have a search. So let's try it. Let's change the country one to search, refresh. And now if I start typing, maybe it's going to auto-populate based on what we have. No. So it shows people based on the search for the country. The bigger your data set, in other words, the more listings you have, the more useful each of these options becomes, especially the search. In this case, I was searching countries I knew I added to the list, and then I did one, Germany, which I know wasn't on the list. People wouldn't be doing that. People wouldn't know what's on the list and what's not. So the search, I think, becomes much more powerful when you have lots and lots of listings. Change that back to select and update. And there we have it. That's how we create a staff listings page that's searchable with filters, and that's how we customize the listings and profiles as well using Profile Builder. Now, something you might be thinking at this point is I want to have multiple listings, multiple search forms. I want to have things like repeater fields. This is where the Pro version add-ons come in, and we talked a little bit about this already. But you have multiple registration forms for different types of listings. The users that are created can be put into certain user listing pages based on the registration form and the user role that they're assigned. You can allow different user roles to edit their profiles using this add-on. Repeater fields is super powerful. Just going to activate this and show you what it is. On the form fields, let's add a repeater. There it is. This could be anything where people can add more than one. You can enable limits so they don't go on forever. Let's limit it to 5. You can limit per user role as well. Then we have to click on Edit Field Group, select a field. I'm going to make an input field. Website URL will be the field title. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, that's good. Just need to have one of these. Then we click Save Changes at the bottom. So at the very bottom here, I'm going to move it up to below what's your favorite dinner. Come back out here, refresh the registration page. Should show up right around here. There it is. Website URL. I was hoping it would say websites you've worked on at the top here, but it doesn't. So I'm just going to quickly edit that. Copy websites you worked on. Edit the field groups. Edit the website URL field. Say website you've worked on. Save changes. Scroll down a bit, save changes again. Come back out here and refresh. Here's our field. Website you've worked on. Let's say google.com. Oh, I pressed enter and submitted the form. Click on the plus instead of hitting enter. Facebook.com, x.com, WPLearningLab.com. I have 4 websites here, and those will be submitted when we submit the form, and we can add those results to all the different things we've seen throughout this video. So that's a repeater field, and you can have as many of these as you want if you have the pro version of Profile Builder. So all that to say, over the course of this video, we've used Profile Builder to build awesome user listings pages that you can use for so many different things on your websites and your client websites. So if we go and check out Profile Builder on Cosmos Labs, there's a link in the description as well to take you here. And it shows you much more information about it. We've only scratched the surface with what you can do with Profile Builder. I just want to head down to the pricing so you can see what you're getting into. For what we did in this video, you're going to need the Pro plan or the Agency plan, because that will give you the front-end user listing, multiple registration forms, multiple edit profile forms, the repeater fields, all of which we touched on in this video. The basic plan gives you a whole lot of features. It is awesome just with the basic. But to do what we did in this video, you'll need a higher level plan. And I'm willing to bet that at least one of your clients would benefit from what Profile Builder can do, so they could help you with the cost of this. By you charging them for a service, then you can buy this and provide that service to them, and then to others as well, and even for your own websites. So I encourage you to click the link in the description down below, come to this page, pick the plan that works for you, and check out Profile Builder because it's an awesome plugin. So I highly encourage you to check out Profile Builder because it works really well, and your clients will appreciate the functionality it gives them. If you got value from this video, make sure you click like and subscribe to let me know. Then check out this video that's on your screen right now, which is also a plugin built by Cosmos Labs, which is Translate Press. So make sure you check out that video if you want to easily translate your websites into all the different languages on the planet. Check that out, and I'll see you there.